Alright, so we're here for another episode of Special Talk, and we're covering a theme, Scott, that we covered last week. The Nashua Empire, the football team, non-profit football team,
yes,
did phenomenal last week. Not so great this week.
no.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. What do you think went wrong this particular week versus last week?
They didn't listen to the coaches. Hopefully look at the last game you guys played against the Sabercats. Look at that game compared to this game, and that's where you guys went wrong.
Now, this particular game, the Nashua Empire really didn't seem to have their head in the game. There were problems that were occurring. What do you think caused everything to go downhill?
Hopefully you guys will improve. Get some sleep. Some of you guys look like you're sleepy, a little bit out of it. Hopefully you guys will get some good sleep, some good practice. Come back in good play. Play very well on September 17th, 2017. Please, that's their final home game for the season before they go to the next town on the 23rd.
What we're talking about here is that there's a feeling sometimes of you can't move forward.
Oh yes, move backwards. My favorite wrestler of all time, John Cena, says, never give up. That's what you guys, Nashua Empire, need to do.
Right.
Is never give up.
Never give up.
You lose one, you can come back and always win the next game.
Right.
Win the next
Absolutely,
game
yeah.
the following week. Don't give up.
And we're going to cut into segments where we're going to show you last week's game. The Nashua Empire was not victorious against the Southern New Hampshire Bears. Unfortunately, they did lose, and they did lose badly.
Yeah.
And let's talk about the coach's strategy. What do you think the coach was trying to do by being as aggressive as he was? And some coaches, that's the way of motivating people. They figure it's kind of a scare tactic. If you really want to be there, it's a non-profit team of, oh my God, is he really serious? He would really bring somebody else in? And some coaches would. Some coaches would say, yeah,
they're out.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys will show up, please. September 17th is our last game.
Right.
Nashua Empire versus the Nashua Empire versus the Granite State Destroyers. Give the ball to Ryan. Ryan last time was the one who did the touchdown. Made you guys got 6 touchdowns to win that game, or several touchdowns to win that game. Come back and figure out what you guys are doing wrong, what you guys are doing right. Not trying to say you're doing anything wrong, guys. You need to figure out what's wrong and fix it, please. You can win this. You can win this, Wiggy. You can win this, Ryan. You got this game.
Absolutely.
Because you gotta let those words of never give up.
Yeah.
But don't give up, please. Yeah. Don't let these teams kick the Empire out of the playoffs.
Right.
You guys can do this. And you guys got to win this game. Then if you win the game at Chelmsford, I believe they're
okay, so it's out of state, so it's...
They have a home game on the 17th, and their away game is on September 23rd in North Chelmsford.
North Chelmsford, okay.
Please come support the team. They're going to be
away
the day after the Sunday. They're going to be away, but they will be home September 17th at Nashua South. Please come on by to support this local team because their team is awesome. They allow a Special Olympics athlete out there on the field. They allow me out on the field, and they call me family. That's what I feel like. I'm part of the family.
Yeah, it's an important...
And it's amazing.
It's important too, Scott, and there is a lot of camaraderie there. and that's what you really are going to see in the game last week. I wasn't there for the game, but it sounds like they had an okay start, not great, and then they went downhill. And I think the message behind this is you got to be supportive to your teammates. That strategy that the coach had of being that aggressive was probably pushing them in a negative direction. And every time he would pull them aside and say, if you don't shape up, then we're going to bring in somebody else. It was a scare tactic. It wasn't working. And everybody has a bad day, and it just went downhill.
Oh, yes.
You know, listen to what Scott's saying too, though. If there are certain players like Wiggy, like some of the other players that have had extensive injuries, I mean, if your shoulder pops out of place and people are saying, well, can you pop it back in? This isn't a Hollywood movie. This isn't a Hollywood stunt movie kind of thing.
I heard that my favorite wrestler of all time, John Cena, says, never give up. That's what you guys, Nashua Empire, need to do.
Right.
Is never give up.
Never give up.
You lose one, you can come back and always win the next game.
Right.
Win the next
Absolutely,
game
yeah.
the following week. Don't give up.
Yeah.
Don't let people think that you think you guys can't do it. You guys can.
Right.
That's why I keep coming to your games. That's why we keep covering it.
Right.
Because you guys can do it. I believe in this team. I believe in the Nashua Empire because they support National Special Olympics as a non-profit organization. Please, folks, come on out to support Nashua Empire on September 17th. Please, this is our last home game.
Right, yeah. No, it's, if anything, and we're going to cut in this episode to last week's game. Talk about comeback and listen to everything that Scott's saying and watch that tape, because it's going to be airing in the next couple of days, and you see for yourself that they listen to that advice. You never want to give up. You're capable of coming back, and that's what happened against the SaberCats. But for some reason against the Bears, the mindset, wasn't there. One of the things that you had mentioned, which I thought was real interesting, because we've been covered Special Talk for a long time,
yes.
and you have been an athlete, and some seasons because of an injury or something like that, you made a decision not to participate. And you said something very interesting to me before the segment. You said that the coach was... It was his way of trying to pep them up and sort of scare them to say that if you don't change your attitude now, we'll bring in other players to replace you. And he was really getting annoyed, but really serious by that.
Yes, you gotta play like your heart stays in it, because I know they can win this game. I know you guys can win this September 17th. You guys, I know that you want this opponent. You need this win. You guys, like your coach says, you win 2 more. You guys are in the playoffs, playing possibly at home in front of your home crowd at Nashua High South.
Right.
Please win this game.
Yeah. No, you got to do it. And last week's game was phenomenal, and it was definitely a comeback. So, well, let me ask you this: as an athlete, you've been in that situation, I'm sure. You win some games, you lose some games.
Yeah.
Where, how does that level of how does that affect Scott McCullough as an athlete? If, let's say, Coach Colleen or Dodie Mitchell were to say that to you, you're not doing well, whatever it is. Let's say it's basketball, bowling. The coach pulls you aside, and let's say that National Special Olympics was way ahead and then really started losing, and there's just a feeling nobody's playing well together. We'll say it's basketball and people aren't passing and they're getting irritable, and Coach Dodie will pretend that this is a situation. I'll pretend to be Coach Dodie, and I'm saying to you, Scott, that if you don't change your mindset, then you can be replaced. I don't think she would say that but if she did, or Coach Colleen said that, how would that affect you?
Oh, it would affect me big time, and they gotta let that, like the coach said, go home,
Right.
look yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
You guys can do this.
Right.
You guys have gotta keep it in mind. I know you got a lot of injuries. I know Wiggy's hurt.
Yeah, this
Wiggy's hurt.
guy that you were talking
Wiggy's hurt. Another guy has a arm in a sling. Another guy had a brace thing on his ankle.
about. Right.
I don't want him coming back. Nothing personal against him, but it's not worth getting injured. You got next season.
Right.
You guys could come back healthy.
Right.
With every player in the
Right.
on the roster. You guys can take this. You can take this North American division. You guys can do it next year. If you don't win it this year, there's always next year where you guys can get your head on straight, go into training camp or whatever you guys do,
Right. Right.
whatever type of camp you go into, and think, we need to do this. You guys did amazing.
So, yeah, it's interesting. You never really know where someone's head is at, and situation with Nashua Special Olympics is different because their coach said some things to them that it's hard for you to imagine, because Doty just probably wouldn't do that. Coach Colleen wouldn't scream at you and say, "Oh, you're out, you're way behind." But some coaches, that's the way of motivating people. They figure it's kind of a scare tactic. If you really want to be there, it's a non-profit team of, oh my God, is he really serious? He would really bring somebody else in? And some coaches would. Some coaches would say,
you're out.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys will show up, please. September 17th is our last game.
Right.
Nashua Empire versus the Nashua Empire versus the Granite State Destroyers. You guys have got, I know I have it in your, I know in your heart you guys can win this.
Absolutely,
You can win this. You can win this, Wiggy. You can win this, Ryan. You got this game.
Absolutely,
Because you gotta let those words of never give up. Take my advice. Watch wrestling. Watch WWE or whatever. Listen to what John Cena says.
Right.
You guys bust your hump every single day.
Absolutely.
You're out on the field in a sweaty sun.
Yeah.
I know you guys are getting tired.
Yeah.
But don't give up, please. Don't let these teams kick the Empire out of the playoffs.
Right.
You guys can do this. And you guys got to win this game. Then if you win the game at Chelmsford, I believe they're
Okay, so it's out of state, so it's...
they have a home game on the 17th, and their away game is on September 23rd in North Chelmsford.
North Chelmsford, okay.
Please come support the team. They're going to be
Absolutely,
away the day after. It's Sunday. They're going to be away, but they will be home September 17th at Nashua South. Please come on by to support this local team, because their team is awesome. They allow a Special Olympics athlete out there on the field. They allow me out on the field, and they call me family. That's what I feel like. I'm part of the family.
Yeah, it's an important...
And it's amazing.
It's important too, Scott, and there is a lot of camaraderie there, and that's what you really are going to see in the game last week. I wasn't there for the game, but it sounds like they had an okay start, not great, and then they went downhill. And I think the message behind this is you got to be supportive to your teammates. So, continuing on, we really want you to support the Nashua Empire, is the point of this episode, and we're going to go to specific clips covering last week's game. So you're getting dual exposure. You'll see the episode when the Empire, Nashua Empire, took on the Saber Cats. Phenomenal game, but that's the motivation right there. That's what you need to see. The team needs to look at that last game, and whatever happened this week, learn from it.
Oh yes, don't let it get to them, because you guys are better than that. As I know what I've seen you guys win. I've seen you guys win last week, and you guys almost made me cry.
Yeah, no, that was a
You
phenomenal
almost made me cry
game.
when you said I was part of the family.
Right.
I loved it. And I'd like to thank Coach Stacy. She was the one that let me go down to one of the games that you guys were playing. You lost that game, but you came back with the one Central Massachusetts Sabercats. You guys
Absolutely.
came.
Upcoming games that will be coming next month that we're looking forward to. And the Nashua Empire is a very strong team. It's just this particular game, they really didn't have their head in it. So, like Scott said, it's a learning curve, and they're a phenomenal team, 501c3. They have a great coach, phenomenal coach who was just, I think probably was surprised that they were just, when you start to lose that much, you never know.
He starts losing his fuse, and I don't blame him. I don't blame all the coaches. Like he said, they put their butt out on the line for
Right.
these guys
Absolutely.
to play football. We didn't have a football team in Nashua. Now we have a football team. Let's keep them in this town.
Absolutely.
Let's
yeah.
support this team.
Right, yeah.
Come out to September 17th.
Right. He
Please
keeps
come
saying
out.
that. They need more people. They need more sponsors. They need more organizations that will support
Yes.
them. And that includes people beyond us in Special Olympics. We need more Special Olympics people to come out and fill the seats locally. And if you can go to away games as well, check out their
Website.
The website.
www.nashuaempire.com, and click on the standings, and click on their schedule. It'll tell you where the games are
Right.
and when the games are, because
Right.
it's worth it. As a Special Olympics athlete, I love going to their games, because
Absolutely, yeah.
most of the guys out of uniform, off the field are awesome.
Right.
And please come on out September 17th to cheer them on, their last home game of the season.
Absolutely. Last
Please.
home game. Come out. This is Chris Von der Lippe and Scott McCullough coming here from Special Talk. We're going to cut into some of those great moments that we had, greater moments because they were successful and they won their game last week. We're going to take you to segments in that last week, and we're looking forward to covering games in the future. Thanks a lot.